A sporty VW bus? Sounds strange at first, but that's exactly what it's supposed to be. The most powerful VW microbus ever built. The ID Buzz now comes as a GTX version, and with up to 7 seats. But how dynamic is this retro electric van, really?
Since 2022, it's been on the market, and now the electric VW microbus comes with more space and a sporty GTX version. And this one combines both, the ID Buzz GTX with long wheelbase. But how much sportier is it really, in terms of design, features, driving behavior, and what about everyday practicality? We'll find out today. So stay tuned. Before we hit the road, let's take a closer look. Does it even look sporty? The design itself is inspired by the T1, the original microbus, so it's more retro and cute. Let's be honest, aggressive looks? Not really. You'd need some serious customizing for that. Greetings to the aftermarket scene. Would be fun to see what that looks like. It does have some unique design elements, though, like the front and a few black details. We'll look at those later. Personally, I think the two-tone paint, while the red looks great, makes it feel more retro. But that's optional. You don't have to pick that. But in a solid color with fully black rims, it already looks much sportier. But the real question is, does it drive sporty? We're about to find out. Let's go.
When it debuted, we got to drive and test the ID Buzz around Copenhagen. The current base version offers 170 horsepower and rear-wheel drive, one electric motor on the rear axle. Starting price in Germany, around 50,000 euros. The GTX comes standard with all-wheel drive. That means one electric motor on each axle, combining for a total of 340 horsepower.
From the first driving impression, I mean, of course, you can tell there's more horsepower under the hood compared to the base version. But it's not like the punch completely knocks you off your feet either. Sure, it moves forward nicely, no doubt about that. But at the end of the day, it's still a van. It's not a sports car, and it doesn't want to be one. You can't really argue away the weight of roughly 3 tons. Still, the sport suspension definitely helps with handling. And the low center of gravity, thanks to the battery, does its part. Though the base model already had that too. Body roll is well under control. We're driving around the Hanover area right now, mostly flat roads, but there are some nice winding sections here and there. I wouldn't go as far as calling it a corner carver, but you can take bends quite dynamically. And honestly, it's fun to drive. No question about that.
The rear electric motor produces 286 horsepower. The front one, 109. But that one only kicks in when needed, controlled by an all-wheel drive regulator. In standby, the front asynchronous motor barely consumes energy. That results in a total of 340 horsepower system output. The sprint from 0 to 100 takes 6.4 seconds. Not bad for a van. Top speed is limited to 160 kilometers per hour, 15 more than the base Buzz. Starting price for the long wheelbase GTX with 86 kilowatt-hours battery, just under 75,000 euros.
I've been driving in comfort mode so far, but let's switch things up. You've got the usual driving modes: Eco, Sport, Traction, Individual. Let's go for Sport. Wow, okay. Now that's the punch I was waiting for. This is actually fun. Steering's pretty direct too. Reacts immediately. I like that.
When it comes to sporty electric vans, the market doesn't offer much competition. Mercedes has the EQV, but that one only offers 204 horsepower. The The long version with a 60 kilowatt-hour battery starts at just under 60,000 euros. In return, you can get a lot of luxury and up to 8 seats. The Opel Zafira Electric only has 136 horsepower, priced around 54,000 euros with a 75 kilowatt-hour battery. The Ford e-Tornado Custom comes with 285 horsepower and a 64 kilowatt-hour battery, starting at about 75,000 euros.
In terms of operation, it's pretty much what you already know from the ID Buzz, familiar layout and feel, but there have been a few upgrades. For example, there's now a head-up display, which wasn't available before, but can be added as an option. The main screen has also grown from 12 to 12.9 inches, and the interface has been updated a bit. Previously, there were more physical buttons below, but now you get illuminated sliders and a fixed top bar, where you can quickly access functions like the driver assistance systems or driving modes. You can also customize the home screen to your liking. Overall, it's become a bit more user-friendly, looks cleaner, and feels more premium, at least in my opinion.
Outside, you can spot the ID Buzz GTX by its different front design, with a black honeycomb grille. On the right and left side, there are triangular daytime running lights, similar to other VW GTX models. Additional glossy black accents add a sporty touch. Standard features include the sport suspension, LED matrix headlights, called IQ Light, and 20-inch wheels. You can get 21-inch rims at extra cost. The cherry red paint is exclusive to the GTX, and can also be combined with silver in a two-tone finish. Inside, it's all darker tones. The GTX is the only version with a black headliner. The comfort seats feature a diamond pattern, electric adjustment, and memory function. Red piping and stitching add a sporty vibe, also found on the steering wheel, with a red accent and chrome GTX badge.
By the way, the abbreviation GTX is inspired by VW's sporty lines like GTI, GTE, and GTD, and was trademarked by VW in 2018. And since we're sitting in the back now, we should talk about the long version. The ID Buzz comes in standard and long wheelbase versions. The long one is 25 centimeters longer and can be configured with up to 7 seats. Ours is the 6-seater, 2 individual seats in the second row. Normally, you'd get a bench there. The third row only has individual seats because of the wheel arches, not enough room for a bench. But you can already see how spacious it is back here. The front seat's adjusted for me. I'm 1.70 meters tall, not exactly huge, and look how much legroom I've got. You can also slide the second row seats up to 20 centimeters. To reach the back, just pull this lever here, and voila, you're in the third row. And check this out, the massive panoramic glass roof, the largest VW has ever made, 1.5 square meters. It's made of so-called smart glass, meaning you can darken or lighten it at the push of a button. And I love this little feature here. There's an electric rear window you can open. Perfect for waving to oncoming traffic or saying hello to people outside. Super cool.
As for luggage capacity, with 7 seats up, you still have 306 liters. Fold down all the rear seats, and you get almost 2,500 liters, about 350 more than the shorter Buzz, but still over 1,000 less than the T7 multivan. The GTX long version packs an 86 kilowatt-hour battery, enough for up to 475 kilometers, according to VW. The shorter one has a smaller 79 kilowatt-hour pack due to space limits, giving it 424 kilometers. The maximum charging capacity is also different. The big Buzz charges at up to 200 kilowatts, the smaller one at 185. Both go from 10 to 80% in 26 minutes.
We're now driving through downtown Hanover and even down a few narrower streets. And yes, it's a big car, but I have to say the visibility is really good. And you can easily maneuver and get around despite its size. And if you do need to park or maneuver, there are helpful features like the 360-degree camera or even an exit warning system that alerts you to cyclists when you open the door.
Thanks to the added power and all-wheel drive, towing capacity has also increased. The standard GTX can tow up to 1,800 kilograms. The long version, 1,600. That's 800 and 600 kilos more than before. So you can easily haul boats or horse trailers now.
With the GTX version, the ID Buzz has definitely gained more variety, continuing to follow in the footsteps of its legendary predecessor. After all, the original T1 was also known for being versatile and offering the right version for every need. Now, if you want more power or higher towing capacity, you've got that option. The design isn't overly sporty, but it's definitely more dynamic, and the extra power adds a whole lot of driving fun. And that, in the end, is what really matters.